Hello and welcome to the AWS Cost Optimization series. In this episode, you will learn about pricing models and we're going to take a quick tour of the AWS Pricing Calculator. So when you move to AWS, one of the main advantages is that you can move from a CAPEX to an OPEX model. Not only this helps you simplify your costs, but also you can completely reduce or eliminate your upfront costs depending on your preference. On top of that, when you come to AWS, you only pay for what you use. So not only you don't need to worry about depreciating assets, but also you can scale your systems up and down at any given time. And we do have many different services catering for many different needs. And each one of those have their own pricing model. So it's very important for you to understand the cost model of each service that you want to use. Now, how do you do that? Well, there are two ways. One, you can check the pricing page. Every service has their own pricing page, which gives you a detailed breakdown of all the cost dimensions and options that it offers. Now, that can get a bit difficult as you start using more AWS services and you start widening your AWS adoption. So we have created a very nifty tool that tracks all the pricing models behind the scenes for you of every service and allows you to create estimates and play around with all those options and figures to really adjust the cost for your solution. And that is the AWS Pricing Calculator. So let's have a quick look at it. Here I am on the main AWS website. You can navigate to this by going to aws.amazon.com, and there is a search bar. So we're going to click on the search bar. I'm going to type pricing, and that's enough to get me a match. So I'm going to click on AWS Pricing Calculator, and here's where we can create an estimate by clicking on this button. So I'm going to click on Create Estimate. And the first thing we're going to notice is that there is a search interface here. And very importantly, you want to pick the right location type and the right region when you find services. And that is because pricing will differ depending on the region. So it's very important for you to pick the right one. In this case, I already got Ireland selected, and that's the one I wanted. So I'm going to keep it. And then I'm going to go to Find Service, and I'm going to type EC2. So it's going to give me the search results here, Amazon EC2. I can click on the product page link to go to that product page that I just mentioned, or I can click on Configure. When I click on Configure, something magical happens. It gives me defaults based on the pricing model of that EC2 service. And then all I need to do is tweak it to my needs. So in this case, it has defaulted to a Linux server, and it has defaulted to 4 vCPUs and 16 gigabytes of memory. Now that has matched to the lowest cost EC2 instance, and that is the T4G.X large. I don't need to know what that instance is. It tells me that that is the best one for my needs. And then down here, it already gives me a little price of where my estimate is at. Now let's update this, and I'm going to change the vCPU from 4 to 1 and the memory to 4. And as you can see here, it has updated the recommendation of the lowest cost EC2 instance to T4G.medium. And it has updated the cost here. So I'm going to save and add the service to my estimate. And here at the bottom, you will see that my estimate now has a projection of monthly costs and a projection for my yearly cost, which is the amalgamation of everything that I've added to my estimate. If I go on View Summary, I can see just that. And I can see all the figures, all the breakdowns. I can continue to add services. I can add AWS support tiers, and I can share with colleagues by clicking here and copying the public link, which allows me to share with anyone. Now, lastly, you can export this to CSV or PDF. So, for example, if you want to print it, allowing you to take this estimate to all those very important meetings about costs. Thank you very much. I hope you have learned something new today. Keep on learning, keep on building on AWS.